What's up, guys? LQ here to talk about Expedition Unknown Season 12, Episode 1. He is on the search for downed World War II pilots in the Pacific Ocean. So during the Pacific campaign, while we were fighting Japan, there was several battles that took place. One of them was a battle that was in direct response to Pearl Harbor. United States won that battle. We ended up losing, I think he said, 44 airplanes, and none of them had ever been found. 44 airplanes, 200 plus lives, none of them had ever been found. So they're out there in the Pacific, island jumping, looking for clues, talking to locals, trying to find out where these planes are. All right, I'm a big history buff, history major. You know, I have a bachelor's degree in American history. So these episodes are always right up my alley. Not to mention the fact that I'm just a huge Josh Gates fan. I saw him in person last month. Huge fan of his. Like I said, to the point where I'll go listen to him give a lecture. So, big fan. And I always love his history-centric episodes, American history-centric episodes, because, like I said, I've got a BS in American history. Sorry, not a BS, a BA in American history. And so this episode was a lot of setup. It gave a lot of background into what they were looking for, why it was significant. This one was definitely a big history lesson. There wasn't a ton of exploring in this episode. They did do a dive to go down and find a big ship, but that wasn't what they were looking for. You know, it was a exploration dive while the robot submarine was out getting sonar of this whole area they were in. That being said, so this wasn't, from a history perspective, this episode was interesting. From an exploration perspective, from a exploring the unknown perspective, there wasn't a ton of that here. That being said, I think there's going to be a huge payoff in the next episode, because this, as it turns out, is going to be a two-parter. And at the end of this episode, they get the results from the submarine taking the sonar of the ocean floor, and clearly they find a plane that matches the description of a eyewitness who said that there was a plane that went down in this spot during that war. His grandfather saved a pilot, and the pilot was eventually taken by the Japanese, and the grandfather was beaten terribly. So very compelling story, very compelling narrative, very compelling evidence. So I think all this setup that we did in this episode, I think it's going to make for a big payoff in the next episode. So like I said, the exploration phase of this story, there wasn't a whole lot there, but I wasn't upset about that, because number one, great history lesson. Number two, think there'll be a big payoff next episode. So I'll have more to say about this, I think, after next week's episode. But this was a good start to what I think is going to be a very compelling story. So what did you guys think of Expedition Unknown, Season 12, Episode 1? Let me know in the comments below.